Muscle's more dense than fat. And a lot of people don't realize this. And a lot of people like to say, oh, muscle weighs more than fat. And it doesn't necessarily weigh more than fat. It's more dense than fat. The fibers of muscle are denser than fat fibers. So a lot of times, for example, let's say 5 pounds of muscle looks like this, right? And then 5 pounds of fat looks like this. It takes up more space because those muscle fibers are more dense, right? So when someone comes to me and they haven't been working out or they haven't been moving appropriately or not eating appropriately, and we get them started on a program, I let them know. I said at the beginning, there's a possibility weight's going to stay the same or go up, because as you start building strength, and we're also working on correcting the dysfunction and imbalances in their body, that is going to add on to the scale. But at the same time, we're going to also hopefully be working on some lifestyle factors, sleep, stress, nutrition. But it's not all going to just be like, okay, I'm just going to drop pounds right away. Because if you're working out, you're going to gain muscle. And so it takes time. And I tell them, I said, the more muscle you have, the more fat you're going to burn. So it's more like a reverse cycle. And a lot of times I have to see how people have been eating when they come to me. And many times I have to put them into a reverse diet before we can actually go into a fat loss phase. And what that means is I have to actually get them to consume more food on a regular basis, most commonly more protein. Most people don't eat enough protein. And then we have to see how your body responds to find your maintenance point. Once we get to your maintenance point, then it's about, okay, let's start a deficit, meaning let's go into a fat loss phase, but we have to go into it in little increments, just like we go into the maintenance phase and progress up in increments. So to be honest, a lot of people ideally should gain weight if you're looking at the scale at the beginning, because they're not eating enough, and we have to fix the metabolism. I call it, you're in the metabolism trap, and we need to get you out of that. Guilty. And so we've all been guilty. I mean, I go up and down all the time, but all of this that I'm talking about, and I'm just getting now into the fat loss phase, this takes time. It happens over months. And depending on how dedicated the person wants to be and how strict they're going to be with like being honest with what they're tracking or not tracking, or how they're eating, or how much effort they're putting into their workouts, sometimes it can take years. So some people, it can take years to get to that right point. But the key is they can maintain it and not be yo-yoing up and down. Versus the people that, yes, there's people out there that say, I'm going to help you lose 20 pounds in like 30 days, 60 days. Yeah, you can lose that. But guess what? The moment you stop doing everything that you're doing, which is usually being pretty drastic, you're going to go back and then you're going to gain some. So my answer, all in all, is it could take months to years. If you want to be realistic.